Hello and welcome to the Celtic Ways lineup reaction to the game away to St Mirren and Paisley. I'm Aidan McDonald and today I'm joined live from St Mirren Park by Ryan McGinley. Ryan, how are you?
Things are good, yeah. I'm delighted to be at the game. I'm delighted to be at St Mirren Park again. Actually, I've not been for a few years. Last time I was here, I think Celtic were playing in a pre-season friendly. I seem to remember Tom Rogic playing in a pre-season friendly. So that was a while ago. I think that was 2015, 2016. So it's been a while since I've been here, but I'm glad to be back. Glad to be back to the football as well. Hoping that Celtic make it 4 wins from 4 in this festive period of fixtures.
Yeah, obviously Celtic coming off the excellent result against Rangers last time out, hoping to make it 4 wins in a row for the first time this season in all competitions. So fingers crossed that will be the case. I guess if we just kind of get into it in terms of the lineup, Ryan, before we sort of go individually through each of the players, obviously as part of the headline, we've got Nawrocki making his first start since August. Came on against Rangers last time out. Are you surprised to see him in, or is that expected, given that I know you and Tony touched on the fact he put in a good performance against Rangers last time out?
I don't think it's so much of a surprise because obviously Stephen Welsh went off injured in the first half of the Rangers game. So it is good to see Mike Nawrocki get back in the team. First time he started since August. So yeah, this has been his big chance. It's kind of like Scales-esque in the way that he's been waiting for his chance to come along. Unfortunately, Welsh is pulled out due to injury. Don't know how long he's going to be out for. But with every injury becomes an opportunity. And this is a big chance for Nawrocki. I know it's the final game until the winter break, but a real chance to show why he was brought to the club for £4.5 million. I don't think he put a foot wrong before he got injured. He struggled to get back in the side, struggled to even make the bench in some lineups. But he had a really good first and second half performance against Rangers in the absence of Stephen Welsh. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him in person and see how he does. This is a real opportunity for him today.
Yeah, it does feel like a good platform for Nawrocki to build on after his performance against Rangers. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on, and if after the winter break, we hope Carter Vickers will be back and available. What's going to happen then? Is Scales going to continue with Carter Vickers? Is one of them going to drop out and then Nawrocki stay in? So that will be probably definitely worth discussing at the time. But I guess if we just go through the side sort of beat by beat, Joe Hart in goals as you would expect. Alistair Johnson at right back, Mike Nawrocki right centre back, Scales at left centre back. Obviously, Taylor's the other full-back option. In the midfield, you've got your two, Bernardo, McGregor. Just in front of that, Matt O'Reilly. And then you've got Dyson Maida, Palmer, and then Kyogo through the middle. I guess in terms of the rest of the lineup, Ryan, it's probably as expected, isn't it, based off recent performances?
Yeah, I think the only sort of maybe question mark in the team was whether or not you put Abada in, but then at the same time, he's just coming back from a long-term injury. You might as well get Maeda back to full fitness. It seems as if we're doing Japan a favour because he'll be called up to the Japan squad. Kyogo obviously isn't. Hatate is, but he's on the bench today. So it's good to see Maeda getting another start. I think his energy is so important, particularly in away games when you may have to do some defending off the ball. He leads from the front with his pressing, as does Kyogo. Palmer's good with his pressing as well. He's one of the top performers throughout the season. But yeah, I think the rest of the team picks itself, to be honest with you. Bernardo, a goal hero a couple of days ago against Rangers, so I think it was a definite that he was going to start the game. And the rest of the team, you go from front to back or back to front, and everybody deserves a spot, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I would agree with everything you've said there, Ryan. I think it would be a bit harsh if Bernardo had dropped out after his performance, not even just against Rangers, but I thought he put in a good shift against Dundee on Boxing Day as well. So, yeah, it's an interesting lineup from that perspective. I guess it is probably worth touching on that this is the last game for a wee while. We'll have the chance to see, obviously, Dyson Maeda, Hatate, if he comes on to make his sort of return from injury, and Yang. Do you think we'll see any of those players make an appearance off the bench? Hopefully, Hatate as well. It'd be good to see him come on.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing about Hatate is that this will be his first and probably last game if he comes on for a good while, because he'll be going to Japan. Whether or not he plays or he goes to Qatar with Japan, whether he plays or not is a very different story. But I would like to see him come off the bench. It's been a while since he's played a game for Celtic, and he's one of Celtic's best players. If not, I think if not the best Celtic midfielder. Might be a bit biased. He's my favourite Celtic player, but but yeah, there's so many good midfielders now in the team. Bernardo's now staked his claim. O'Reilly's playing the football of his life. McGregor had one of the best performances of his career just a couple of days ago. So the midfield looks a really strong place just now. And with Hatate coming back and getting back to full fitness, it only breeds confidence, and it breeds quality as well in the middle of the park. Middle of the park's the most important area of the pitch for me. It's when you win or lose games with your domination of possession. I know you still need players to shoot and score, but in order to get that control, the midfield is so important. And Celtic are blessed at the moment with so many good midfield options. If he could come off the bench, absolutely brilliant. But you don't want him coming on too soon, and then getting injured again. So as long as his game time is managed, then I'm okay with that.
Yeah, obviously the player's fitness is the most important thing, and fingers crossed that if he does come on, he's hopefully fit and able to put in a shift. As you touch on the midfield, I think that is an interesting point. The last few games it has been really positive position or an area of the park for Celtic, and the fact that you're now able, at least for today, and we've potentially going to be able to add Hatate into that is an exciting prospect for going forward. Obviously, in terms of the players going to the Asian Cup, I think it's probably likely that South Korea and Japan are going to go far into the tournament, or absolute bare minimum get out of the group stages anyway. So I think it's likely that we are going to be missing those players for a few games. I guess as well, obviously this is the last game before the club will be dipping into the transfer market, hopefully. Is right now, I know you and Tony and Hamish, etc., have discussed sort of in depth the areas that maybe Celtic need to strengthen in, but just looking at that team right now, is there any sort of go-to positions that you'd be thinking it would be brilliant to have a player in there for the Bucky Thistle game, or more than likely the Ross County game later this month?
Yeah, I hope that we've got more than enough to. I hope Celtic have got more than enough to beat Bucky Thistle when they play them later on in the month. No disrespect, but Celtic can play their sub players and still hopefully get a good result in that game, quite an emphatic result in that game. I think you're now looking more towards the summer in terms of big signings. You just got to look at emergency positions. Is there a position that really needs a change? Maybe at left back, although I don't think left back's been the problem recently. It's probably been more the other side. Alistair Johnson's had a couple of really shaky performances. His form has went up and down, and it's a bit scattergun at the moment. But Taylor, I would say, as a left back, needs to be improved upon. If not in January, definitely the summer. I'd say the same for the goalkeeper. I think Joe Hart needs replaced in the summer. I think that'll just run its course, and then Celtic will get a new goalkeeper in the summer. Apart from that, maybe another striker. I'd like another striker to be pushing Kyogo and maybe less or so O. Maybe a Miovski, a Shankland. I don't know, one of these players. But it isn't as much needed because Kyogo never got called up, which is Japan's loss, I guess, and Celtic's gain, because they'll have a striker. Thank goodness, it could have been Abada or somebody else up front, or Matt O'Reilly might have even played up front. But it's good that Kyogo will be staying, and he'll be leading the line for Celtic. He'll be unopposed. Like, he's definitely going to start in every game now. That is the case, but at least Celtic have a recognised striker to go with for those tough games. I think they play. Is it Aberdeen and Hibs in January? Two really, really tough games. You would want a goal scorer like Kyogo to be playing. So it's good that they're both. In both of those games, Kyogo's available.
Yeah, I think that is definitely worth touching on. Obviously, the probably surprise maybe, but also the boost from a Celtic point of view that Kyogo won't be representing Japan at the Asian Cup. It is, as I say, it's probably a bit of a surprise, but also it is good from a Celtic point of view, because there wouldn't have been a recognised striker at the club, given that O's also away. So, yeah, Kyogo will be unopposed, as you say, Ryan. It's more likely that he will be starting and probably playing the majority of these games, while his fellow sort of teammates are away playing for Japan and South Korea. So that is a positive, and fingers crossed. He also got a big goal against Rangers last time out. Probably one of the sort of best recent derby goals, to be honest, in terms of the finish. It was very well taken, and hopefully he can sort of kick on and go into the winter break on a high.
Yeah, absolutely. You want that for every player that's coming into the team. A phenomenal goal against Rangers. Same as Paulo Bernardo. He got a phenomenal goal against Rangers too. So if the two of them could repeat it today, then that would be absolutely ideal for Celtic. But it's very much anyone will do today. Just get into the winter break, 8 points clear, and people will be sitting pretty at the top of the league. But in order to do that, you have to face off against a good St Mirren side who got a good result last time out against Aberdeen. 3-0 at Pittodrie. If Celtic get 3-0 at Pittodrie, it would be lauded, quite rightly so. So it will be dangerous, especially at home. They're a very physical side. They're a tall side. So it'll be interesting to see how today goes for both teams. But you're hoping that if Celtic play their game, play to their strengths, then they'll be fine.
Yeah, no, that's definitely worth touching on. The opposition today, Ryan. I think St Mirren, a phenomenal result really last time out. against Aberdeen. They also had a very strong start to the season. They were kind of up there challenging with Celtic in the sort of early weeks of the campaign, first and second. They dropped off a bit, but I think overall it's still been a good sort of first. If you want to kind of split the season into sections between now and after the winter break, a first sort of part of the season for them, and yeah, that was a brilliant result last time out. It will be undoubtedly a tough game, I think, along with the Rangers game. This was probably one that was pinpointed at the start of the sort of end of November, start of December, looking at the sort of fixtures between now and wrapping up for the winter break, because this was going to be another really tough game, and I've got no doubt that'll be the case today. But I guess just before we finish up, Ryan, I know you're going to obviously do the sponsor in a second, but have you got a prediction for a final result for today?
So I think it'll be a competitive game. I think both teams will score in the game, but I think Celtic will just edge it. I'm going to go 3-1 Celtic. Kyogo to continue his goal scoring form. You know, he's got the hunger for the goals back, and I can't see him not scoring. Last time I was at an away game was Dingwall. It was Palmer scored the screamer at Dingwall. So if he can repeat the same today, then I think all the Celtic supporters will be quite happy. So both of them to get on the score sheet. Maybe one of them to get 2 goals, but 3-1.
Yeah, I think that's quite a solid prediction. I'll maybe go 2-0, I think, and I'll go Kyogo to score and Matt O'Reilly as well, given they've kind of been the 2 informed players as of late. So, yeah, 2-0, and I think a positive 3 points to go into the winter breaks, what everybody's hoping for. But before we also finish up, Ryan, I'll leave it to you to provide the sponsor details.
Yeah, so as always, our videos are sponsored by MPH Group, who do plumbing, heating, kitchens and bathroom work, if I just get the wee script. So winter's here, and if you think of giving your home heating system a boost, then MPH has an enticing Navien Winter Promotion just for you. They are Scotland's award-winning family-run all-trade specialist covering all of mainland Scotland. You opt for Navien Boiler installation for MPH Boilers. You're not only choosing top-tier efficiency, you're also getting a Navien Internet Controller that can crank up your boiler's efficiency to an impressive 98%. And they're covering the first year's service at no added costs. MPH even offer flexible finance options, so gear up for the chill. Consider making a smart move with MPH and Navien, and all their links are in the description below. So we thank MPH Group and Navien Boilers for sponsoring this video. As always, plumbing, heating, kitchens and bathrooms, look no further than MPH Group.
Thanks very much for joining us today, guys. We appreciate the support as always, and the sort of live videos and sponsors like MPH Group allow the Celtic Way to be able to do the morning briefing Monday, Friday, and provide sort of extra content such as this and special videos. So once again, we appreciate them sponsoring the channel. It's always appreciated. As always, like and subscribe if you haven't already. This channel, that also helps us out in terms of engagement, etc. So, but until then, thanks very much for joining me, Ryan. Always appreciated.
Cheers, mate, and thanks, Aidan, for coming on. Really do appreciate it.
No worries, all good. I believe Ryan, you, yourself, and Tony, you're going to be back to do the sort of full-time reaction after. Obviously, we get all the post-match stuff sorted. So, thanks as always, guys, and we'll see you later on.
Cheers, guys.